He lived to be 8. He lived to, yeah, he lived, but I bet that's when she died of giving birth.
Howdy folks, Gary and Carlin, Monsters Creek Outdoors Historical Division. I am headed over here to the town of Purdy in McNairy County this morning. I'm supposed to be meeting a historical researcher, field guy of mine here at the Purdy store. He's going to help me with a case here this morning. Hopefully we can find something out. I've done a video back between 2 and 3 years ago on the Purdy Wright Cemetery, and I recently had a guy that made contact with me in regards to that episode from Michigan. He's been researching a situation in regards to like Field and Hurst when he stayed in the old haunted mansion over here at Purdy, and there was a guy that supposedly was a sidekick and a possible McNairy County sheriff, 1834 to 1836. And along during that time, this guy that was the sidekick's name was James Boyd. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the Wright Cemetery, and we're going to most likely take a rake and wipe off what's called the Crump family plot. Supposedly, this James Boyd was extremely close friends with some of the Crumps, as I understand, and so much of a friend that supposedly he was buried in the Crump family plot. I do have an old image that the guy from Michigan submitted to me that shows Julian Hurst with his hand on the marker, and he said that picture was taken at Purdy or at the Wright Cemetery. But the question is the Boyd marker still at Purdy? This James Boyd was also running alongside of two Chickasaw Indians. Their last name was Feather, and supposedly their markers is supposed to be over here at the Wright Cemetery as well. So we're probably going to rake this Crump family plot back to the bare ground, most likely, along with probing with a rod. So we're going to see if we can find the James Boyd marker or the Chickasaw Indian marker, which is going to have a last name of Feather. Rowork's second shot hit him square and killed him with buckshot. Rowork then went to the sheriff, who was in sympathy with Boyd's killing since Boyd had ridden with Colonel Hurst, who had been ordered to burn Jackson and did. Boyd was a Union man all the way. Perkins ruled it was self-defense and let Rowork go. Rowork picked up his blood money and went to Texas. Boyd had 3 small children in Jackson, and they were taken in by Mrs. Lula Cooper, who kept them until arrangements were made for them. My grandmother Catherine was one of them poor wives. Howard was her younger brother, and his grandson had the administration papers of James Boyd's estate. It came to $97.50 and included his horse, saddle, pistols, etc. I have attached a summary at the end. Boyd's body was put on the train and taken to McNairy County. He was buried at Purdy in a plot of Dr. Crump, who had been his lifelong friend. Don Feather and Sam Hurst came to Jackson and claimed his body. Don Feather's two brothers, Ozzie and Ollie, had rode with Boyd. They had been day scouts with Boyd when he rode with Colonel Hurst. Ozzie and Ollie are buried in Purdy too. A piece of history online that says there's a James Boyd that was killed in 1866 is buried in Riverside Cemetery in Jackson, Tennessee. So, but the marker, the Boyd marker, was at Purdy. So we're going to find out if it's still at Purdy. So I'm fixing to meet this guy here at the Purdy store.
Stuff right here for a minute.
Yeah.
Gooch.
Yes.
Wonder it ain't haunted.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna get scared and go running out the door, are you? Huh? I told that guy yesterday, I said, maybe my heifer won't get scared and run off on me today. You just start looking left and right now. There's one right there, which ain't no headstone, just one of those plate things. Well, the tornado uprooted the side of the fence.
Look there.
Piece of an old marker stuck up on top of the root wad there. There's another marker over here behind us. Right there. See, that's a big rock. But I struggled and struggled and struggled. I tried everything I possibly could to get a name off of that one. I never could. Here's a rock right here, right past this tree. Well, that's that old big marker I was talking about. That tall piece over there. Supposed to be sitting up on that at one time. Now, right here. This guy said at 20 minutes and 17 seconds on the previous video, that's the marker we're looking for right there. That Fendall Crump.
Mm-hmm.
So that Boyd marker or the Feather, the markers, the Chickasaw Indians, they're going to be right here. They're going to be somewhere around this Crump marker. And there's two more markers up under these leaves right here. So the big marker is the right marker.
You don't reckon the tornado moved that, do you?
No, that was laying right there just like that. When I come up here on that previous video. It's a Crump marker that we come into.
No, right here.
And these other markers are supposed to be around it here. We've run into troubles. Right there's a humongous yellow jacket nest. They got a big hole, looks like. We was gonna wipe this area right here with a rake, but it don't look like it's gonna happen.
Sarah H. Adams.
Who?
Sarah Adams.
Sarah Adams. Chickasaw Indians' last name Feather is supposed to be nearly on top, right on top where that yellow jacket nest is. See, that's the problem.
Maybe one of the yellow jackets ought to detect it.
Just exactly where those yellow jackets are is where he's gonna rake it off. Yeah, that one that's pushed down is a Fendall crump marker. That's the one we was coming to, and then start raking and probing out from it. But we walk up there, they gonna start popping the crap out of us. Years and years and years out of all the different cemetery episodes, I can't recall ever running up on a snake, and I think that's the first bee nest or yellow jacket nest that I've come up on. As I remember, that's the grandparents of some woman from somewhere down in Alabama. She was watching my other episode and saw them 1808 to 1855 and 1840 to 1872. There's some kind of rock right there. Is it soft?
Pretty soft.
A little bit. Ain't that another one? There's another rock right there.
Yeah, they're all through here. Mother.
I never saw that one.
Might have been a cousin or sister or...
Annie Hurst. Annie Hurst, born 9/15/1873, died 7/11/1900. Mother. Scattered around in through here that you can't see.
You know, it reminds me of the Moore Cemetery, how it's scattered.
It does. That's the way it is. You walk right up on them. There's the foot. There's the head marker. Part of this rock up here is already gone, or it's fell back down against the side of the tree. Somebody at one time put a piece of metal or rotted it on the back. But if you want to see a humongous cedar growed right in the middle of a grave, right there it is. It's on there, but I can't hardly make it out. The rock where by the yellow jacket nest, yeah. Fendall crump. Supposedly those two Chickasaw Indians were buried in also or near that crump family plot, along with where the thinking that James Boyd was supposed to be. Hard to read them when they get that black on them like that. Yeah. Mike could go back and watch the other video and make it out. Look at that little lizard sitting there at the top of it. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, and then this big hole here that only God knows was pitched off in, and then got this fenced in spot to the right of those two bigger trees. See that road that's going on down?
Born 1840 something. Died in 18 something. 1919.
Born before the Civil War.
And they died in 1849.
Died 1849.
Young.
The ride 1, 2, 3, 4, but the fourth one stuck all the way over there.
Right there too.
Yeah, a little rock at the bottom of it. So
I bet this is a slave cemetery.
Many years ago, somebody was doing some marking right here. Well, here's an old grave right here, ride with a rock at the bottom. And then here's one with a rock at the bottom. And then we got a rock over there, another rod here. Somebody doing some old grave marking many years ago. Another rod right here with a rock at the bottom of it. put this project kind of in the back of the folder for right now, and come back during the cold or colder weather, so we won't have to worry about fighting these dadgum yellow jackets. Quarter laying right smack in the center of the cross. That's a Clyde East rat, Tennessee, World War I. That's Jack Sevier, isn't it?
He born 1895, yeah. He died in 1981.
Well, we got both in the opposite direction there, of all things. All because of the yellow jacket nest. And smack big old tree the top of that tree had fell right on top of, or right center across the family plot that we was gonna rake off and probe with the rods. We're gonna go up here to the other cemetery. Oh, that's the biggest sassafras tree that I've ever seen. (1836 to 1875). And name was what?
Purdy.
Kirby.
There's been good ones been here since 1855. A long time.
Elijah Seahurst, 1828 to 1866. That's supposedly the death year of that James Boyd that we was going to locate.
E.G. and M.S. Hurst. 461. I bet they'll died on the war.
Marker's actually marking 3 then, right?
Yep.
Elijah and then 2 children. Robert Hurst.
No date.
Robert Hurst, no date.
Child's born. Bob did, I mean.
No. The kids I pointed out's in the other corner next to the woods over there. I don't know who this is. I didn't read that one off on the other video. 1820 to 1880 something. What's that other rock to your right?
Nathaniel McAfee.
Nathan McAfee.
56.
E.T. and T.W. Dodd. 1830 to 1856. It's not that far, right back over here where we was at just a while ago. Worthington, 1807, 1866. There's another one of them, 1866. R.W.P. Poole, 1824 to 1880. Another 1866. We might as well carve 1866 in her forehead on this outing.
1887, I was born.
Can't tell exactly what the name is on that.
Behind this rock might be something we don't want to see.
Well, I thought some more lettering be on that. There ain't no lettering on that bottom portion, is it? And then that the other piece of that's missing.
Yeah.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret what?
Leanne.
Margaret Leanne.
Crump.
Daughter of is that doctor?
Yep.
Daughter of Dr. R.W. and Elizabeth Crump, 1852 to 1887. The guy in Michigan, he might be interested in that in regards to his research or documentary or whatever.
Colvin.
William Colvin.
1848, 1866.
1848, 1866. I also see Crump, son of R.W. and L.E., ain't it? Son of R.W. and L. Crump. Born 1848 to 1866 again.
28 years old.
28 years old.
No, he's younger than that. 58, 18 years old. 18 years old.
And a lot of these old cemeteries, that's what I've noticed over time. Some of these really, really young people has got large markers.
15.
Elizabeth Crump, 1815 to 1891.
She lived a pretty good life. I don't know about them.
That's
Can't see 'em.
Dr. Richard Walker Crump, 1809 to 1857. He wasn't too awful old, was he?
He died during the Civil War.
He may have gotten killed over here. That may have been a, what'd they call them back in them days?
Well, they
A medic?
They pull teeth, cut hair, and don the doctrine.
They called him a medic or something like that during the war, I
signs of
think.
The red, blue, and the white.
Yeah.
That's all the same back in the days.
McKinney. James McKinney, 1822 to 1880. Julia McKinney, 1833? 1833 to 1909. James F. Jr., 1871 to 1872. Spencer, 1860 to 1860 something. It's broke off. Margaret F. 1850 to 1856. Charles T. 1853 to 1854. Harry S. Combs, 1855 to 1896.
What's this mean here?
Calvin Combs, 1818, I think. That's another Combs. This is another one of them little family plots.
1901.
1827, 1827 to 1901. Is it a Combs?
Yeah.
It's a Combs.
Charles Gray.
There's a fancy one right there. That was a almost like a little crypt or something. I don't know if it was or not. Either that or that's the headstones that fell over this way. That's pretty much this is pretty much the Combs family plot right here, looks like. That's the top that's supposed to be setting up on that right there.
You reckon that's where the baby was at?
Might have been, and then here's the topper right here that's supposed to be up on top of this one. This is Mary E., wife of R.B. Riggs Sr., 1857 to 1891. A lot of these people sure wasn't very old. Bascom Riggs, 1849 to 1884.
A.A.P. Lear. Dr. T.W. and M.A. Lear.
M.A.P. Lear.
Baby.
Infant. 1856, both ways. That's a who? Ernest Elijah
Died in 1870.
McClabiners. 1792 to 1820, looks like. 1792 to 1820.
Two all the same. It's been.
So over here behind us is a Combs family plot, and this must be the Riggs family plot.
I'm not sure how they made that.
Reverend Thomas D.
Thomas K.E.R.N.O.D.L.L. Kundolf.
Kendolf. Reverend Thomas E.
1879
Kendolf.
to 1912.
1879 to 1912. Tennessee Cavalry. Civil War. It's a bell. That.
I doubt it.
Dr. A.S. Azabel, Dr. Azabel, born 1843. More see wisdom.
I think that's the cemetery named after him. 1809, 1834. Minister.
Here's one right here, and there's one over there. Here's one right here. Here's one right here. Bradley. Sally S. Bradley.
1869 to 1899.
1869 to 1899. Peter L., only son of P.S. and L.M. Wisdom, 1860 to 1881. Trice. Laura M. Trice, 1812 to 1884. Eugene Willie. And Florence. Kids of J.H. and Sue Duke.
Wife, daughter, and son. 1810, 1852, 1834, 1838, 1844, 1845, 1852 to 1858.
So you got about 4 burials for that one then. And then, yeah, there's
1796 to 1871.
I knew there was 17 something on one of them.
He died here at Purdy, Tennessee.
1796, 1871, died at Purdy, Tennessee. W.M.S. Wisdom. These wouldn't be here if it hadn't been repaired. That one there's been broke in half, and top's been broke off of that.
That was his wife, daughter.
Wife, daughter,
and son. So
let's see. Let's see. Wife, daughter, son, and son. Wife, daughter, and 2 boys. January 1810.
Or is that supposed to be July? So see, she was born in 1852 right here, and she died in 1852, July the 9th, 1852. I bet she died giving birth to this child.
Died giving birth?
No, he lived to be 8. He lived to, yeah, he lived, but I bet that's when she died, giving birth. And they lost a young baby there, October the, not very old.
Lost another one?
Yeah, 44 to 45 wasn't very old. October to January, 2 to 3 months old. 34 to 38, a 4-year-old. I wonder what happened to him back then.
There was, you know, different multiple diseases and different stuff and different types of fevers back then.
Devastating, man, back in them. I mean, there was so many children and stuff they died back in them days. There's a cemetery in Kentucky. It's at a church. It's not far from where I'm from. I went up there one time looking around for a grave. And I went back to church where the cemetery is. Right in the middle of the cemetery is the oldest part of the grave, where the oldest grave is. And there's a circle. And the tombstones are all in the circle like this. And they go like this, and there's another round in the middle like this. They all died within 2 to 3 days apart.
All them old different viruses and fevers and
3-year-old,
all
like
that.
Little bitty.
My granddaddy's oldest brother many years ago come down with one of them fevers or something back about 1940 or something like that. If it hadn't been for their mother feeding him graciously with cornbread and milk, he would have died. But they always thought that's how he overcome it, because she packed him smack full of cornbread and milk. That's all she done, I reckon, you know, when he was sick. He about dead.
be a good day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and talk to you. What time are you here in the morning? You work 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Well, folks, we did have a little detour there on our outing due to that yellow jacket nest, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna put it in the back of my file, and of course that will always include a later episode in time. So we'll come back here when it gets cold weather and supposedly hopefully end up swiping that family burial plot and truly sift it out to see if those other graves are there or not, or grave markers. We learned a good bit of information today in regards to some Civil War activity as well. There's much footage that I would like to share, but at this time, based on what it is and the source that it came from, it is all remaining as undisclosed information here at this time. But anyway, we did look at some good old dates and names on some cemetery markers, and a good morning of walking around. Of course, any morning walking around with historical field researcher Ricky Hauser is always a good one. Any outing involving Ricky I always enjoy, and appreciate all the help, appreciate his company, and again, appreciate everybody watching as I just left the Purdy store. So I'm Gary Carlin on Mosses Creek Outdoors Historical Division, and I'll see you next time.